Welcome to Share Talk, the only podcast where investors come first.
Today we've got Alexander Lemon, who's President and Founding Director of Mkango Resources Limited, which is dual listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, TSX, and FTSE AIM as a ticker MKA. Nice to see you today, Alex.
Thanks, John. Thanks very much for inviting me to this interview.
So you've had an RNS out this morning in relation to Thambani. Do you want to just give us an overview of that? But actually, before you do that, do you want to just give investors who may be not aware of Mkango what it is that you guys actually do?
Absolutely. Well, Mkango Resources, as you've already mentioned, we're dual listed, TSXV AIM listed company. Our primary business is the exploration of rare earth elements and associated minerals. We're working in the Republic of Malawi, a country which most people have probably known as Nyasaland if you were stamp collectors. It's a fantastic country, very hospitable people, so much so it's earned its well-earned reputation as being the warm heart of Africa. We hold two 100% owned exclusive prospecting licenses through our wholly owned subsidiary Lancaster Exploration. The first of which is the Palombe license, which holds the Songwe Project. And then there's the Thambani license, which is on the western side of the country, which is the project we're going to be talking about today. Just going back on Palombe, for investors who may not be aware of Mkango, our main exploration target is actually in the Palombe license. It's the Songwe Hill rare earths deposit. It features a carbonatite-hosted rare earth mineralization and has been subject to exploration since the late 1980s. Mkango completed an updated pre-feasibility study. This was updated in November 2015. And our strategy is for Songwe is to further optimize the project and maximize the efficiency of the processing and also reducing costs. So we're doing various optimization test work at the moment to enable that to happen. That's also providing a strong platform for us to enter into potential partnerships, joint ventures, marketing and offtake agreements. And in December of 2016, we entered into a marketing agreement collaboration with Noble Resources to collaborate in the rare earth sector. And then more recently, in March 2017, we entered into a memorandum of understanding with Metallicis. And this is to jointly research, develop, and commercialize rare earth metal alloys for the use in 3D printed permanent magnets. The main exploration targets in the Thambani license are uranium, niobium, and tantalum, and associated minerals. And the big news for us today is that we've identified new zones of high-grade uranium, tantalum, and niobium at the Thambani exploration license.
Okay, and just for investors who maybe, I would hope that most people are quite familiar with what uranium is, but do you want to maybe give an overview as to what tantalum and niobium are maybe used for?
Sure. Tantalum, again, used in high-tech electronics, for example, in capacitors. So everyone's mobile phone will have a electronic capacitor in it, which they use. Tantalum is one of the ingredients to make it. So very important in the electronics industry. Niobium is used in stainless steel production, and again, an important constituent of metal alloys. So it's very much connected to high tech. Tantalum, going back to tantalum, it's also used in nuclear reactors for making specialized alloys for various components. So yeah, they're the sort of key uses of tantalum. But certainly tantalum we're very excited about the tantalum results, and its association with electronic capacitors, primarily in mobile phones.
So, I mean, you're obviously pleased with the results that you've put out today. I mean, what's next for Thambani after this?
Well, the results that we obtained, were excellent, and they're very exciting because they support they support Thambani's exploration potential. The uranium results were very, very encouraging and equally positive with the tantalum and niobium grades. And this helps us confirm that Thambani may also have significant multi-commodity potential. We identified new zones of uranium, tantalum, niobium, all high grade. Not all high grade, but a good majority of high grade samples. 85 rock grab samples ranging from up to 3.3% uranium, 1.9% tantalum, and 6% niobium. And these were significantly higher grades than we obtained previously when doing previous exploration work. Our main objectives were to identify the high grade, the sort of previously high grade areas at the Little Nagona area, but also to ground truth new targets. And ground truthing the new targets has been very successful. New areas of high grade uranium, tantalum, niobium were identified at the foot of the west ridge and also at the foot of, and also on the east ridge. But most significantly being that the radiometric high at the foot of the west ridge yielded 2 of the 4 highest grade samples of uranium for this phase of exploration. So all very exciting, and certainly vindicates the exploration potential for Thambani.
So you've obviously been looking at JV opportunities and ways you can spin out the project. I mean, where are you at with that at the moment, or can you say anything on that front?
Well, as we've mentioned previously, we're currently evaluating strategic options for Thambani. Now, this may include either joint venture, spinning off the project into a new company, as well as potentially other avenues to create value for our investors and shareholders. Discussions currently ongoing, as we've mentioned previously. Difficult for me to elaborate more on that at the current time, but clearly as news becomes available, it will come out on RNSs so that our shareholders are notified.
Okay, and moving on to Songwe, I mean, there's been a few questions being fired at us from shareholders this morning, just about mainly centering around your work with Noble, just to see really how many partners have expressed an interest in that particular prospect. And I don't know if you can answer within the same question, really, because we know obviously Noble's had interest from potential investors for themselves, and we're wondering whether that's been a distraction to that kind of relationship, really.
No, not at all. It's as far as Noble Group are concerned, as I've already mentioned, we have a marketing collaboration agreement with them. Clearly, I can't comment on their business, but what I would say is Mkango, going forward, it's very much business as usual. We have ongoing dialogue with a number of and discussions with a number of potential partners. Clearly, I can't give any more detail than that. But certainly, I wouldn't say anything's affected that relationship. It's all very strong. Had great visits out to Hong Kong and China a few weeks ago, and it's all very positive.
So, I mean, do you still see Noble as the vehicle ultimately to get you through to where you want to be with Songwe?
Look, we've got a marketing collaboration agreement. We've got a strong relationship with them. Discussions are ongoing. It's business as usual for us. If you're aware of Mkango, you'd be aware that we're a very opportunistic company. We're constantly evaluating strategic opportunities for both the Songwe Project and Thambani projects, primarily to create value for our investors and shareholders.
So we're nearly at the end of half one for 2017. What can we expect in the second half for investors in Mkango?
Well, I'm expecting there to be a lot of exciting news regarding progress at Songwe and at Thambani. We're going to continue to progress our partnerships with Noble Group and Metallicis. We've got ongoing research through the High-Tech Outcarb, which is funded by the European Union, SOS Rare, which is funded by UK Science Council, British government, and also with the Natural History Museum in London. And of course, we're evaluating new opportunities. We believe there's huge opportunities for certain commodities which are connected to or feed into the growing electric vehicle revolution. Certainly in the last 3 to 4 months, you'll have seen increasing amounts of news in the press and on the news channels about electric vehicles and the expected huge growth in demand. And certainly, UBS brought out a research note this week, which is incredibly positive for rare earths and other commodities which are going to be required to drive the electric vehicle revolution. And what people haven't really picked up on yet, everyone talks about electric vehicles and lithium batteries, but what everyone's forgetting is the fact that a lot of these electric motors which actually drive these vehicles require permanent magnet, rare earth permanent magnets in the actual motors. And there's going for the magnet rare earths, the neodymium, praseodymium, and dysprosium. There's growing demand, and certainly we're starting to see over the last few months rare earth prices have started to rise. And so even in the last week, there's been further rises. If you look at the europium price, for example, that's not a rare earth magnet rare earth. It has other uses in color phosphors, but those prices are going up as well. So it's a very exciting time for the whole rare earth sector, and certainly for Mkango Resources, which we believe is currently massively undervalued.
Okay, so you're feeling very positive for the future there, Alex?
Absolutely.
Okay, and is there anything else you'd like to add today?
I don't think so. Other than to say, very very happy to answer shareholders' questions. Very happy to be put in contact with investors out there, and looking forward to the rest of 2017 and getting some exciting news out on the projects.
Okay, so that was Alex Lemon, President of Mkango Resources Limited, ticker MKA on FTSE AIM and TSXV. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, John. Great speaking to you.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.